are invited to partake on an adventure that is both life-changing and fun. The University of Dayton's Communications Summer Study Abroad program wants to take you out of the everyday classroom experience and put you out into the world. We want to take you to a new country, not as a student or tourist, but as a world traveler who becomes fully immersed in the culture you are in.
I think it's invaluable to get out to into other cultures in a way that's not completely superficial. Because I think that's where we start to learn to understand each other and what we have in common, and I think it teaches you so much about yourself and your own expectations without you even realizing it.
Each summer, the communication department travels to a different location.
It's a life-changing experience. It was for me the first time I taught, but for students, I think it's even more life-changing.
In years past, the group has traveled to Beijing, China, London, England, and Rome, Italy. This past summer, a group of 27 students went to the department's first ever dual country experience.
We tried to do 2 sites in Europe in a single trip for the first time ever, and I think it's been a really interesting and really fulfilling and enriching experience trying to get to both cities in the same trip.
Part 1 took place in Prague, Czech Republic. A city full of a rich history, beautiful architecture, and friendly people. The city was very unfamiliar to UD students when first arriving, but soon became a favorite, a destination all are eager to return to. Following Prague, the Flyers took off to Rome, Italy. World wonders, ancient architecture, iconic scenery. All of these things take over as you watch history come alive.
I really loved getting blessed by the Pope and being like in the square on that Sunday afternoon. I thought that was a really cool experience and something that not many people get to experience.
We walk to class in the morning, and then we have the rest of the day to be fun.
When not viewing masterpieces like the Trevi Fountain, the students returned to their apartments in Trastevere, where a more intimate and authentic Rome could be found. Alleys lined with restaurants filled with conversations and laughter into the early hours of the morning. This is no Olive Garden, folks. This is real. Not only will you meet people from the countries you are in, but from all over the world.
My name is Connor Schiffer and I am from London.
My name is Anna and I'm from Spain.
My name is Nino Zander and I'm from Germany.
This past program offered 3 different classes and the ability to gain 6 credit hours. One class everyone takes focuses on international communication. Where better to learn how nations connect than in another nation? While some classes were held in school buildings, the real learning took place out in the world.
It's cool to actually see things rather than just looking at it in a textbook.
For one of our class, all of us had to go, we each had a different site and a different activity that we had to do to learn more about the culture.
Tours of the U.S. Embassy in Prague and Vatican Radio were some of the highlights.
I like seeing the Vatican radio station. Really interesting just because I took the class last semester and I could see where the buttons were that I used back at school, and I was like, oh, I could work here.
Students then had the option to take either international PR or video production.
I'm teaching the International Public Relations class, which I really like. I teach it in a more broad approach, so I don't focus just on corporate. So we talk about nonprofit, we talk about government, we talk about diplomacy, we talk about citizen diplomacy, and so kind of a bigger perspective on what international and global PR work can look like.
Video production students film the beauty of the city.
This is fully focused on field production, what we're doing here. So we go much more in depth in terms of what you're going to encounter when you're shooting in the field.
A brand new class was offered to video production students who had already completed several video classes. 5 video students were able to take a mini course in narrative filmmaking. With the teaching and guidance of Dayton graduate and film producer Kevin Maher, each student produced their own short film on site. One of the most exciting developments that is taking place is where the department is going next summer. For the first time ever, the communication students will be traveling to Sydney, Australia.
I know that for a lot of students it's really difficult to choose between internships and study abroad. And both experiences are fantastic and they're both important, they can both help your resume, right? So what we're doing next summer is we're putting them together.
So what are you waiting for? You will not want to miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I think one of the biggest things is being exposed to other cultures, seeing how the rest of the world lives. A lot of times I think our students are too insulated at the University of Dayton. This gets them to broaden their horizons, and I think that's probably the biggest benefit of this program.
These video clips can only do so much because the beauty really must be seen in person.
It's worth it.
Go.
Get over your fear of being far away, and even if it's just for a summer like we're doing, it's totally worth it and you won't regret it.
Come to Rome!
You guys wasting your time. Just get out and see the world.
Don't even think about it, just do it.
But I would say, I would add, food here, it's amazing, and people are so friendly.
It's terrifying, slightly, but it'll pay off.
Encourage everyone, if there's any way that they can do it, to participate.
It's the best experience a lot of students have. I think if you talk to a lot of students who do study abroad, they'll say it's the best experience they've had at the University of Dayton.
So come explore new places, try new things, develop a stronger sense of the world around you, and above all else, make friends with your fellow Dayton Flyer traveling companions.
I have not made a single friend.
See you next summer.